Today to show you how to make a great glaze with our West Coast Super Speedy. I'm working with the market's two best glazes. I have Super Speedy Glaze and I have Super Speedy High Performance Glaze. Super Speedy Glaze is the traditional glaze. The High Performance is our newest glaze. It was formulated to work well in high temperature and in high humidity environments. Super Speedy is different than other confectionery sugars. It contains maltodextrin instead of cornstarch. Our Super Speedies have just the right amount of maltodextrin in them to be stable in your cases for a long period of time. Super Speedy Glaze is very easy to make if you follow certain rules. First of all, you want to make sure you always use hot water when making it. Hot water helps the sugars dissolve. Hot tap water is fine, you don't need to boil water. Second, you want to always mix with a paddle, not the whip. When you use a whip, you're introducing air into the mix. It will make the Super Speedy look milky instead of clear. Third, you want to always mix the Super Speedy in low gear, never in second gear or higher. The same thing will happen as if we use the whip. If you mix it in the high speed, you're going to introduce air into the mix. You'll end up with a milky, opaque look rather than a crystal clear look on your baked goods. And lastly, you never want to introduce water into your glaze after it's finished mixing. You've made the perfect glaze here. If you introduce water in it, you're going to thin it out. It's going to crack, run, and flake off your baked goods. During the day, you'll have crumbs and fat drip into your glaze and it'll make it thick. So instead of using water to thin it out, you want to use another simple syrup. So you can make your own simple syrup, or you can use one like our honey pectin glaze. At the end of the day, I don't want to put water on it to prevent it from crusting over. What I do is I put a little bit of saran wrap or film wrap on there, and when I go to use it the next day, I just pick it up like this, and you can see I have a nice glaze that's free of crust and ready to use. Right here I have donuts glazed with the traditional Super Speedy. Right here I have a donut glazed with the High Performance Super Speedy. You can see they're very similar. You can see that the High Performance goes on a little thicker, and that's going to help it stay stable in your case under extreme heat conditions. So one thing I always do when I make my glaze is I always add flavor to it. I like butter and vanilla flavor personally, but I find that most customers like a little bit citrus flavor. So orange and lemon are other flavors you can add. And the reason I do this is because the glaze right now, without the flavors in it, it's just sweet. It really doesn't have flavor. And it's going to taste like the glaze in the donut shop or the bakery down the street, because he's probably using the same exact thing. So the way I can differentiate my product from theirs is by adding my own flavor profile to it. So I always add flavors to my glazes. And in fact, I always add flavors to just about everything. Flavors are not very expensive to use. You're talking about 25 cents an ounce, and you might use 3-4 ounces in 70 pounds of mix. It's barely measurable. So right here, I just added Boron fruit puree to the Speedy glaze that's already mixed up, just to give it a raspberry flavored coating. The Boron puree is very easy to use. What I did here was I just cut off 3 ounces, defrosted it in the microwave. Then I just mixed that defrosted puree into a pound of mixed up Super Speedy, and then I heated up the donut and dipped the donut in the glaze. Another option you have is to add the Wesco Frutos to the Super Speedy, and you can see one of the characteristics of the Frutos is they have little bits of fruit in them. The formula for this would be for 1 pound of glaze, you would add 1 ounce of whatever flavor Wesco Fruto you wanted to add. And the nice thing about adding the Frutos and the purees is you can advertise to your customers that you're adding real fruit to your donuts. For more information on products and recipes, visit yourbakemark.com. Thank you for watching.